Right, 31 March 2025, and this is the day we've all been waiting for. There is no single Zimbabwean who is not watching today. So we've got a lot of interest in what is going to happen today, and we are ready. I've personally been going for the past 30 days, 2 times a day, at least coming here to talk to you about what is happening in our country. However, the interesting thing is that today we have a day where, for the first time, the police in Zimbabwe have permitted Zimbabweans to go on a protest. So this is going to be a very interesting day. It can only be the Zimbabweans themselves that let themselves down. You cannot blame the police. You cannot blame the organizers. You can only blame yourself. And today I've got a very interesting story that has taken place that is to do with the Zimbabwe military. And I'm talking here about the call for all soldiers to return from leave, which I talked about 2 weeks ago. An instruction was given to all soldiers to come back from leave. And in today's news, if you look at the main newspaper that is published right now, which is the Newsday newspaper, the report says Zimbabwe soldiers did not go back to work after they were asked to go back. They just ignored the call to return to work. And this is unprecedented. It has never happened where en masse soldiers are going to refuse to obey an instruction, which is to go back on leave. So very interesting. The soldiers were then asked yesterday. They had to be called one by one on the phone. So military commanders had to call each soldier one by one on their phone to come back to work. So guys, where we are, it's very interesting. We are at a point where there is national consensus that Mnangagwa must go, including the army. So the army guys are with us. The army guys are with every single Zimbabwean. They also want change. And when they were told to come back on leave, they refused to come back. And as we speak right now, the majority of soldiers who are on leave have refused to return. And they've been asked to appear at 9 a.m. today. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we're talking about this kind of thing happening in Zimbabwe? A soldier refusing to come back to leave, to work from leave. So this is crazy and unbelievable, but it's happening in Zimbabwe. Last week, the military bosses deposited $100 in the accounts of soldiers as an advance salary, trying to entice the soldiers to come back, but they did not come back. The same amount, or half of that amount, $50, was deposited in the bank accounts of police. So the soldiers refused to come back, and $100 was deposited in an account, but the majority of them didn't come back, and the police were given $50. $50. If you come to my house with the $50, even my kids will tell you, you are playing, because $50 is nothing, especially in Zimbabwe, where prices are so high. So this is unbelievable, but every single person, every single Zimbabwean is aware of the situation. And to make matters worse, what has happened is that the military is heeding the call by Comrade Geza. So Comrade Geza is one of them. He's one of the military, and he has promised that when the new government comes into place, the minimum salary that is going to be paid to a civil servant is $1,500. So if you are a soldier, a police, intelligence, your minimum salary, the lowest level, a nurse, the lowest salary you're going to get is $1,500. That is the minimum salary. Here in South Africa, a recruit, someone who just got in, earns about $14,000 to $20,000, which is about $1,000 US dollars. So if the Protest succeeds today, and Mnangagwa steps down. Immediately, all the guys in the government, civil servants, they are going to be paid a minimum of $1,500 as a salary. The ZIG is going to be taken away. There will be no ZIG anymore, and the economy is going to function. Corruption will be gone, and our country is going to do very, very well. This is what the soldiers want. That is why you see that the soldiers are supporting the call by Geza. So variku gezeswa. Mnangagwa ariku gezeswa. Mdara Geza, this man is amazing. I'm so happy to see someone as brave as Mdara Geza and all the other war veterans. These guys are our heroes. So don't let them down. Don't let down the soldiers. Don't let down the war veterans. Don't let yourself down. Do not go. Tucha, tucha. Atidi, tucha, tucha. If you see your husband bathing right now to go to work, tell him, urikuti tucha, tucha. Uji wora $200. Urichi. Usatuke murume, but what I'm saying is, this is crazy. $100 to a grown man. What is that? One hour. So very interesting. The junior soldiers have made it clear that they are not interested in Mnangagwa, and today is Mnangagwa's last day, the last push. All Zimbabweans are ready to take up and to have a new government, which is going to pay a minimum of $1,500 to every civil servant, and it will be higher. So if you're in government for a long time, you're going to get more money. And Comrade Yoga Mabhunu has explained yesterday that the pensions will be very high. So there'll be high pensions for soldiers who have already retired. You're going to get a lot of money. You're going to get higher salaries. For all the people in the diplomatic missions, you're going to earn a lot of money. The country is going to do well. At the moment, the country is broke because Mnangagwa is stealing the money and putting it in his pocket. So Mnangagwa is stealing all the money and putting it in his pocket, putting it into the pockets of his friends. You can imagine what happened this week. This man on the screen is the CEO of Wikno Chivayo's company, and he's called Danny Marandure. He spent $250,000 on a jersey, a soccer jersey of Scotland FC. $250,000. That means if we're to pay soldiers, 2,500 soldiers will be paid with that money, the $100 that we're given. 5,000 police will be paid. These guys are corrupt. They do this. Ana Kudata Gure. They do all this. And currently, Kudata Gure is receiving presidential guard protection. They are now moving around in a motorcade because they want to steal your money. And you as a civil servant, you as a police, you as intelligence, you as army, you are earning $100. It's not enough for you to go to work. A police or an intelligence or a soldier is now having to go into public transport. It's unheard of. And you are being made to eat sadza. Soldier, anojka sadza. That is crazy. Vanu ava vakaipa Mnangagwa and his cabal. They've made a mockery of our people. They've made a mockery of our government. They've made a mockery of our country. So today is the day. And I'm so happy that the young soldiers have refused to go back to work. And they are currently being forced. They are literally phoning them on their phones. And by 9 a.m., if they haven't appeared, obviously they'll be facing some sort of problem. So please don't allow these young soldiers to be in trouble. If you are in Harare, if you're in Bulawayo, stay at home. When the time comes to protest, go and protest. Don't open your business. If you open your business, you have heard what Comrade Yoga Mabhunu said here. It's not to be taken lightly. Don't open your business and do not tempt fate. Don't make it, or don't be a hero. In short, don't be a hero. Today, stay at home. People are angry. And I hope that at the border, you have not gone there. And I hope that the border is empty. If you are at the border, your job should be to protect the border, not to twitcher there at the border. Nasi uno. and make that message clear. Atidi tucha tucha. So tucha atidi tucha today. The only business of today is to remove Mnangagwa and his cabal, the 34 people that are on the list. That is the only job today. Atidi munu anoti tucha. Right. I think I've covered it. Now let's go to some news. Some very interesting news has taken place overnight. And I'm going to briefly go through it because today I'm going to be coming quite a number of times. So let's start with some business news. And in front of me, I've got a number of financial statements. What an embarrassment. Empower Bank is experiencing massive losses. So Empower Bank is one of the banks that was set up by Mnangagwa, reporting massive losses. Look at those negatives. Everything on the screen is red because of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is taking that money and giving it to his friends. And to make matters worse, the board members that have been appointed by Mnangagwa are not attending court, including the Director EA, Makunganya, who has failed to attend board meetings. And the board is now failing to fire him because Muno Mnangagwa, and they can't do anything about it. But look at that red. It's terrible. Empower Bank, one of the worst banks. It's not a bank, it's a joke. But POSB, the main bank, so POSB is the main bank above the Empower Bank, and POSB has reported quite some nice profits, and they've also given a dividend of 500,000 US dollars back to the government. So POSB at least doing well. Remember why they wanted to sell it to Tagure? Because POSB is making money. So go check out the financial statements of the POSB. Very interesting. But that bank, they want to take it and give it to Tagure. It won't happen, guys. Don't allow this thing to happen. Make sure, Kuti, this is Mnangagwa's last day. And that man does not come back to steal our money and put it in his pocket. That is what Mnangagwa does. He steals your money and he put it in his pocket. Right, let's look at some more news. Dara uyu ndikamubata kola ano screamer. Very soon Mnangagwa achabudiswa mu State House. Today there's going to be a march to State House, and that is going to happen. Be part of it. The police have allowed it. The army has allowed it. It's allowed. Go out there and remove Mnangagwa. I want to look at the financial statements of Zimplow. So Zimplow has produced their results. So let's look at Zimplow here. Zimplow is made up of a number of companies: Farmec, Millibrand, TPS, PowerMec, Cityboard, Scanlink, and Trendtime. So these are some of the big companies that were there previously in Zimbabwe. And what has happened is that this company is now not doing so well. I don't like their results that is produced here. So check out the results from Zimplow. Quite some losses there. High cost structure. So the high cost structure, you can see, started in 2023 with 14 million, and currently the cost structure is at 22 million. That is the problem, and their profits is quite low. They've also not declared a dividend, and when a company doesn't declare dividends, people go hungry. So that's terrible. Let's go to community. So Regent Chief Mabhikwa, here she's appeared for the first time, one of the few female chiefs in Zimbabwe. So she was appointed by the government, and she's currently being taken to court. So you can go and check out the story in the Chronicle newspaper. We are seeing here for the first time the first female chief, Weku Lupane. So in Lupane, this is the chief. She is going to be chief for 7 years while awaiting the actual chief to grow up and become an adult and then take up the position. That is a Regent Chief Mabhikwa. And then in entertainment, Miss Uzet Chengeto Kanyai is once again won Miss Ebony. She's going to be representing Zimbabwe in South Africa. So you can check her out over here. Very interesting. Chengeto Kanyai toda kumuona ku South Africa. Kuno very soon she's going to come to Johannesburg. and represent Zimbabwe. But guys, some of the most important news is taking place today. So I'm looking for a picture of President Ramaphosa, because what I want to say here is about Ramaphosa. What I'm going to show you today has never happened in the history of South Africa. So South Africa is being reduced to a banana republic by the current ANC government. And what has happened tonight is one of the worst things that has ever happened. So let me put a picture of President Ramaphosa here, because obviously we want to share this with our South African friends. So I know that I am the most watched person by the South African security services. So let's do it. Inini phone yangu is being watched by hundreds of intelligence agencies. Do you know that? One day, I was having a conversation, right? The good thing is that I was sitting with people in my car. So we are talking and we're having a phone conversation. And because they bug my phone, almost every person bugs my phone. Every intelligence agency, many of them bug my phone. The Indians, the Pakistanis, the South Africans, whatever. So we are chatting with someone on the phone. And I don't know whether they've got something that they do with volume to switch it off and listen, because this guy forgot. And suddenly I'm talking with somebody and there is someone else talking behind us. Like we literally kept quiet and let him start talking. That was crazy and unbelievable, because who is Gambakwe? Why do you have to watch Gambakwe and his phone? But let's go to President Cyril Ramaphosa. This is crazy what has happened today. The United States has today asked all military personnel of South Africa to leave the United States. So this has happened, and the memo was written a few weeks back. The United States of America has also cut all cooperation with South Africa in terms of military funding, training, and the United States Army has been ordered to leave any mission in which South Africa is involved. That includes any peacekeeping mission in which South Africa is involved. And this marks an escalation in the relationship between South Africa and the United States of America, with Americans saying South Africa is cooperating with Iran and Hamas. So the South African government is considered to be working against the foreign policy interests of the United States of America, and therefore the number of programs that have been cancelled include International Military Education and Training, IMET, Foreign Military Financing, FMF, and Foreign Military Subs. So the South African government going deeper and deeper into trouble and into sanctions, as the United States believes that South Africa is going in the wrong direction. And this includes attempts by the South Africans, the ANC government, to name or rename the road in which the US ambassador lives into the name of a person who is considered to be a terrorist, and that is completely out of nowhere with no justification, and it makes no sense, because no one in South Africa cares about Hamas. I can tell you that for a fact, that the majority of South Africans don't care about Hamas. They consider Hamas to be a useless organization. That is crazy. Guys, can you believe that South Africa is now on this list? And they need to act very, very quickly to move away from this fight with the United States of America. It makes no sense, and it's just a way of destroying their own economy for no reason. The United States is very powerful, is one of the strongest countries, and is the home of capital. So I don't know why you would find the home of capital. So don't you like capital? Don't you like your country to do well? So why do you do such a thing as what the ANC government is doing? So crazy stuff taking place with the cancellation of all foreign cooperation between the United States and South Africa, and military officials asked to leave. So if you're in the United States already, you are supposed to leave as soon as possible, on top of the ambassador who was told to leave from the United States last week. Unbelievable. Even worse than ZANU. At least look what ZANU did. Do you see how happy Mnangagwa is to be standing next to the US ambassador? Like, this man is so excited. Mnangagwa is so excited to be standing next to the US ambassador to Zimbabwe. And he knows, Mnangagwa knows that without the help of the Americans, Zimbabwe is nothing. When US aid remove the funding, thousands and thousands of people go hungry, and multiple programs have been stopped. So let's see what's happening here in the H Metro, my favorite newspaper today. Linda Muzenda opens up about health. So H Metro, one of the best newspapers in Zimbabwe, the TMZ of Zimbabwe, and I like it. The guys who are in H Metro, you're doing a great job. If I come over there to Zimbabwe, I'm going to make sure that you guys get double your salary. I know that you're not getting paid properly. So guys in the H Metro, talk about a rate double, double. On top of all the cards, talk about my GD6, Messe. So emotional reason she wants BGT, that is Linda Mzenda. She's feeling ill and she opens up about the health. Please talk to her over here. And then we've got police one over unregistered vehicles. Yes. And then let's see if there's anything else. Right. Pastor evicts squatter. And then I want to talk about this young lady here. Madam Boss. She has gone she had undergone a procedure to fix a body. So you can see she's showing off her waist. She's now portable. Portable. But do you see GD6? Yeah, that's a motor here. GD6. GD6. I hope I see has got because Nofira Mahara. Then Scotland won with Boso. And then this is our league as it appears today inside of H Metro newspaper. Ngezi Platinum doing so well. Good job, guys. MWOS doing well. The old Wange, that is MWOS. They got the license. And then Scotland, Team Roy at 7 points. Every time Scotland plays, there is a 12th player. That is Pastor Tafane Masaya, who was killed by Scots people here. Every time Scotland plays, and a 12th player who is playing on the other team, because the police in Zimbabwe are refusing to investigate the murder of Pastor Tafane Masaya, who was killed in Mabhikwa while campaigning. So Scotland, Team Roy, that is the wicked. There is no rest for the wicked. They will lose every time they play. Now let's see at the bottom what is there. We've got Bikita Minerals and Triangle at the bottom, and Dynamos right at the top there, and Highlanders doing very well at 5 points and 6 points. These teams are always at the top. They're on the top half all the time. Simba Bora is quite disappointing. The last champions are quite low, but they will do well. Simba Bora, they lost all their players to Zigananda. So what happened is that Mnangagwa bought all the players from Highlanders and from Simba Bora, and he's trying to have a super team of some sort. So that is why you see they're funding this thing like crazy. So they're funding them. Okay. So what a day. What an amazing day. This is the day that we've been waiting for. Stay in your house if you don't want to protest. Do not open your business. Do not even go into a taxi. If you're a taxi driver or an in-drive, enda unotsvaga doro rako ugare kumba kwako. Usauye kutamu. We don't want anyone in the city of Harare, in the city of Bulawayo, who is not protesting. Kana une in-drive, stay kumba kwako. And if you've got a truck and if you've got a bus, do not go to the borders. Stay parked where you are. That is what Comrade Nyoka Mabunu has said here last night. Do not be a hero. Usaite a hero. Unofira mahara. Unofira mahara. Ma gunners, ma soldier. they have refused to return from leave. And iwe unoda kuti tucha nekachibhazi kako kana kuti tucha nekarori kako uchienda kupi kana kuti tucha uchienda kunast. Atidi munhu panast kana pauz nas. Even the guard usaende. Don't go there. Unozochema mgoman. And it's clear what the people want. People want change. They want an economy that functions, and they want our country to do well. Are you not proud of a country that we have a new president, a new currency, a new way of doing things, and a country that you don't have to live out of? So one of the things that we're going to talk to Chiwenga about is people coming back home. Tichataura naye Chiwenga to make sure kuti munhu wese ari overseas, every Zimbabwean overseas, you are going to get a piece of land to build a house for free. You are going to get help with setting up a business, and you are going to be proud and rest. Not kushanda the way you guys are working in the UK, in the United States, in South Africa. You are going to be taken care of, and we'll talk to Chiwenga to make sure that he makes sure that you get free land, you get your children work, you don't have to struggle living in a little house in the diaspora where you pay almost 75% of your money as rent. So that is crazy. Most of the people, they only come back in a box. Do you want to go home in a box, or do you want to go home standing? The cause of such things is Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is the one that is causing it with the corruption. So as we speak, Mnangagwa has stolen 10 tons of gold from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, and Witness has been taking that gold and sending it to Dubai on flights ever since last year. These guys are thieves, and every Zimbabwean is losing out because of these guys. Varikubawo kumana ava. Dumbu iro rakazara gold. So if you see uyu Wikino right now, he eats gold. Munhu uyu. Very bad. And to make matters worse, they also have $3 billion in Bitcoin that they were stashing up, and they've lost. Mnangagwa has lost $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. You can't find it. Right now as we speak, they've been trying to recover this Bitcoin from South Africa, where they somehow lost it. Our money is being thrown away. Incompetence, even when they're stealing, they're incompetent. They can't steal properly. Very sad. So, better say Mnangagwa, if this fails, nothing is ever going to work. Don't let this opportunity pass. Guys, don't let this opportunity pass. This is the last moment for Zimbabwe, the last chance for Zimbabwe. What we call the final push for Zimbabwe. Everyone make it work. You're going to love it. This will be a moment in history which we always talk about. Now, let me look at the Herald newspaper of Zimbabwe, if there's anything over there. And Herald Zimbabwe has published. So let's see what they're saying at Herald Zimbabwe. How many more threats are we going to get from Herald Zimbabwe? You can imagine sitting there, Jenfan, Nick Mangwana, Charamba. How do you threaten Manao? Don't it out security is in high alert. That is what they're saying today. Security forces on high alert. High alert. Concern over foreign hand in illegal protests. Yes, we have been made foreigners by our own government. I can tell you there is no person in the whole world who's going to speak against their own government. The reason why people are speaking against their own government is because of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is the only person being protested against. So even you, the people who are in government, you know it. Mnangagwa, before he leaves, there's not going to be any sensible thing that happens in our country. Now let's look at the financial statement of the Diaspora Zimbabwe. When I see a company that reports their revenue in Zig, I feel embarrassed. Look at the loss. What a damaging loss to this company. 40% change in profit. And that's in Zig. Guys, this is crazy. I cannot believe Deribot used to be a big company before the period of Mnangagwa, but right now it's a pale shadow of its former self. That's crazy. Then this lady, on the left is a lady, John Zwivi, 36, and his wife, Alisa Swanda, have appeared in court for the murder of a little girl, 4-year-old niece in 2023, and fleeing to South Africa. So you can go and check out this newspaper. I don't want to read the whole newspaper. Then Sekuru Masuka is once again with the first run-up for the best performing cabinet minister in 2024. But guys, Masuka and Mnangagwa, are they related? Like, because that would be shocking. If Masuka is related to Mnangagwa, that means I'm related to Mnangagwa. That would be crazy. Mnangagwa, don't fake relationships. So Sekuru Masuka, ever since he came into government, he's been the top performing minister 2 years in a row. And now he's the runner up. What is up with that? Guys, you can see this is rigged. This is rigged. Mnangagwa is rigging the best performing minister. There can't be other ministers who are worse, like every year, than Sekuru Masuka. No. And Sekuru Masuka, I'm actually telling the truth, is my Sekuru. Sekuru Masuka. Vipama Shingo. And then I like this lady. I like her hair. Like, I don't know why. Maybe maybe this is my type of hair. Like, I like her hair. Every time I see her, I cannot stop looking at her. Look at the financial statements of Zimplow. So Zimplow has made a gross profit of 354 Zig. I hate Zig. Anyone who reports in Zig, stop it. And then we're looking at the actual operating profit. They've made a loss once again. So last year they made a profit of 14 million. They're back into a loss-making position, Zimplow. And I think Andy Hodges was right. This is Gananda. This is Trapablas. You can't keep on making a loss. And you see, their companies have reduced. Look at the top here. Their companies have reduced. Here, they now have a few companies here. They now have Radio Zimbabwe here, both ads and ZTN. ZTN is a total disaster. And you can't be talking of printing right now. This is crazy. I don't know what can be done in Zimbabwe, but it's a mess. Now let's look at the stock exchange. If you look at Zimbabwe stock exchange, you can see we have a lot of companies over here, and they're still selling in Zig. It makes no sense. They must move to US dollars. And this is one of the things that we need to talk about. How do we normalize our economy? And to normalize our economy, there are a number of things that we need to do. So let me make it very simple. How do you increase productivity in Zimbabwe? The first thing you need to do is to increase the speed of connection. There is no country which is developed where people move slowly. So everything's moving fast and always moving. If you go to New York right now, it's moving. If you go to Dubai, it's moving. If you go to UK, it's moving. In Zimbabwe, things don't move. So if you want to leave Harare to Mutare, it will take you hours and hours. If you want to move to Harare to Blawa, it takes you hours and hours. So we need to make things move, and we need to attract tourists, make it an attractive country, and then increase productivity. How do you increase productivity? You make sure that there is demand. How do you increase demand? You give people money. So very simple, guys, you're going to make so much money. Under this new government that is coming, you're going to make a lot of money. Reject Mnangagwa and his poor policies. Mnangagwa has got no plan and he's destroying our country. So that is exactly what is happening. And I would like to thank Darageza and the rest of the guys. You've been very, very brave. And this day is your day. I hope that tonight we're going to see the guys talking. We need to see the war veterans coming out and explaining to the people what is the next step. And Mdara Chiwenga, we want to see you coming out now and explaining Kutivan Ava, Mayenda, and you're now in charge. So today we expect a lot to happen. And Mnangagwa and his people, 34 people on the list must go. And we want that to happen as soon as possible. Also, all the senior guys in the military, in intelligence, in police, in prison service, we expect more professionalism. We expect people to be released. So people like Blessed Mhlanga to be released. No more political prisoners. And me, you want me inside of Zimbabwe doing my work from Harare. Imagine, nichifamba mna streets. Noenda pa, okay, ndosvika paya ndobvotenga madrinks, ndobva ipapo ndosimuka ndoenda pajoiner center, ndobva ipapo ndosimuka ndoenda paEastgate. We want every Zimbabwean to come back home, and one of the things we're working on is homecoming. Every single Zimbabwean outside the country must be back as soon as Chiwenga takes over, and we create something new in our country. So very exciting. That is what we're looking forward to. And today is the day. Let me see if there's anything in the Chronicle of Zimbabwe before I go. Otherwise, those are Nyatsisa. And one day I left such an important story because I didn't look at the Chronicle newspaper. And as I said, Chiwenga, we're really looking forward to you changing this country. And in it, I don't want anything from Chiwenga. I just want him to help us with homecoming. So Chiwenga, as soon as you get into office, you see me. Vanoita zvokundidzinga vanhu vako ndoita zvokukemba padhoo pako mudara Chiwenga. He's talking about DRC conflict. No one takes Mnangagwa seriously. And then let's see if there's anything else of interest. Traditional roles of women in business. I like women with such suits. But that hair is scary to me. Like, when a woman is going to show hair, it scares me, guys. I don't know, mama. Short hair. No much. Like, even if you're kana mukadzi ane short hair andidi because ndinondishikisa ndikatarisa munhu ane short hair ndoita sokuti ane murume saka handinyanyofarira hangu short hair. So if you like me and a woman, avoid short hair. It's crazy. Today I want to take you through the community news. Our sponsor is Zimplow. So Zimplow has been sponsoring us here since the beginning of the year. We're doing very well. And later on, I'm going to be traveling to the United States. I'll let you know as soon as I sort out my visas. So today, well, my visa is sorted, but something else. Let me tell you about honey, right? So today we're going to be looking at honey. What is raw honey? So Drakudze Chinich. Raw honey is one of the most powerful medicines ever. So this is raw honey. You will never see honey as powerful as this. This is from the desert. So we went to the desert this week and we bought some. So what does raw honey do? There is no disease that you can treat with raw honey. So what I'm going to do is later on this month, I'm going to go and buy some. It costs $20, sorry, $10. 200 rands is $10 only. So we're going to give all the guys in Harare our next special for April. So if you buy our product in April, which is starting tomorrow, although the honey hasn't arrived, we're going to give you a bottle of that honey, which is $10 worth. Don't eat any honey that is not in a glass bottle. So don't eat anything like honey, which is in a plastic bottle, because plastic is poisonous. So just buy the glass honey. If you buy from Harare, guys, so this special is only for Harare. Blawa, we've already given you. So what's up that number? And we're going to give you that honey from the desert. I'm going to get a pack. I'll let you guys know where to go Harare. So go and buy our packet of Mve and we'll give you one honey. You will never see something as powerful as that. And a 1 liter engine turns into 3 liters. One kickstarts and you won't have to crank it. So I'd like to thank all of you for watching. Today we're going to be very busy. Let's stand up for our country. Let's have a new leader in our country. Let's follow and support the war veterans. Let's follow and support the army guys who have stood with everybody since the beginning. And I would like to thank Mudara Geza. I'd like to thank Mkoma Nyokai Mabunu. What a man. He's been every day communicating this. Congratulations to you, Mkoma Nyokai Mabunu. We thought your strategy was wrong. In the beginning, there was such a lot of criticism of what you've done. But we now see the light. You are a true strategist. My war veterans. Amazing stuff. And I want to see Mudara Mativela when I go to Bulawayo. One thing we want to do is to make sure that the house that ZANU-PF is burnt, Mdara Mativela, to Mr. A double-story house, Mdara Mativela, Mdara Geza, to Murovera double-story house, not to be good. Vese avana Mkomanox, Barukara Zimbabwe high density. Ma war veterans can be living in the high density areas. So Chatara Naiji Wenga, to make a sure every war veteran, I know a double-story house, I know a GT6, and Tumpa Mombe 10 Zake. And like I said, all the guys in intelligence are going to make sure that at least 1,500 minimum salary, you get a GT6 yako, Tokupa, my baby, Emu avenues, especially one partner counter intelligence. That's right. Office we're going to have a nice government complex. In fact, a city. Look what Tanzania has done. Mnangagwa has got no plan. So my plan is very small. We want a big plan and we want things to work. So all the soldier guys, my gunners, you're going to do very, very well under a new government. Reject Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa Arguraman Nenzara. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. It's been amazing. And thank you very much for making us the channel of choice. We are going to reach 100,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe now. Assist me to get to 100,000. My channel, Gambakwe Media, started 10 years ago. ZANU-PF has brought down my channel on YouTube more than 5 times. Can you believe it? I've been the most brought down channel. And lucky enough, takazoenda kuma Americans. It's katsara now. Saka vakukuziyayi vakomana. Vakomana veZANU. Vakukuziyayi. Not ZANU iyi yana Chiwenga. ZANU iyi yezvigananda. Vakukuziyayi. Zvese zvamuri kuita. Kuti you are going after our channel. So the Americans will never allow it again. When you keep bringing down our channel. Do you know that I had to restart from zero so many times? And through the support of the Zimbabweans, we've been allowed to continue. And ZANU-PF has last year tried to poison me 3 times. 1 time in Zimbabwe and 2 times in Zambia. So when I was in Zimbabwe, I went to Zimbabwe to meet this guy, Anonzi Wajgajena. And at the same time, I went to meet with Anonzi Sean Mnangagwa. So that day I arrived in Zimbabwe, I was supposed to interview Wajgajena. He didn't show up. And then I was sitting in my room, and I've told you this story before. So my young brother looks exactly like me. He comes into my room and he chats with me. And I didn't leave the room. So I was sitting there doing my stuff. And who do I see coming into my room with no keys? A female Zimbabwe intelligence agent. Boom. She gets in and she just looks at me and runs away. First time. And they told me, if you leave any food, any oil or gel or anything, they're going to enter a room and they're going to put it in there and you'll die. When I was in Zambia, 2 times they tried to kill me, to poison me. The first time, this last week, and I showed you, he just came at me and it was talking to me. And before I know it, he touched my hand. I just brushed him off aside like this. 1 second. When I went to the hotel room, I had a deep, sharp wound on my hand. 1 second, guys. The guy touched me for a second through a shirt. Imagine if he touched me through an open hand. And I could not talk. My jaws were stuck. And when I tried to move my tongue, it wouldn't move. Can you believe that? To that extent. Then obviously, there is also the incident where they put poison into my blanket. Into my blankets. And lucky for me, I didn't go into those blankets. So be very careful, Nevan. We don't want this evil regime in our place, in our country. Bisa even our vanoti pedza, varoi, vatakat, abatakata, ilanga balele, vanoroya, zuva rakacheka nyika. Muri yese kuroya, zvinoita here, vakomana. Baba vanoroya, mai vanoroya, vana vanoroya. Mwari akanaka vakomana, anotichengeta, takachengetwa naMwari vakawanda. Right, why muchida kubatsirwa nevanhu? I don't know about this one. Did you run away to another country? Achigumba. atimudzinganisi uyo. Chigumba tinoda kumuita a dancer. Saka anonga achidancer. There's a glass muna First Street. Tomuisa imomo. Tomupa uniform. Yemapurisa. Achidancer. Chigumba. Right. I would like to thank all of you. Obsession Yema subscription. No. I'm very for my own veterans. Yes. Tokupai no very mahara. Matskoma angu, my own veteran. Madam Koma, abajge derere. Okay, what else are we missing here? Let me see if I missed anything else. Let me go to courts. Court. So in the courts, the young lady you're watching there, she has gone to court. She's called Mabhikwa Kanyera. So Mabhikwa Kanyera is going to court to ask the court to grant her a protection order against her husband, Didymus Kanyera. I like such women. Look at her hair. I like it. I don't like short hair. So she goes to court and says she wants a protection order against Didymus Kanyera because he comes to her house. They are now separated and proposes love to her maids. So he's asking the court to stop him from coming to her house because last week he went and asked for the phone number of the new maid, and the maid fought with her daughter because he brought airtime and flowers and chocolates for the maid, but he never paid the school fees for the child. So the court has granted the court order. And what I'd like to say to the guys, don't go after your maids. You are immature. Also don't mature. Do you see kuti mukadzi are respectable? Anonakidza kudarika mwana mudiki. Saka musanyenge my maid. As we make a sense. That is my last word on this. I never do such a thing. Semesa. Semesa. Kunyenga my maid. I think kuti munoziva kuti ukaona wasvika papoinga kadai wapererwa kunyenga maid. Siyana nazvo. Siyatsika iyoyo. Ndokuziva mapana bremskanzwa. Muite imi vakomana. Especially vari kudiaspora. Mukadzi adinda kushift. Woswera wachiti twicha. Ngoma mako twicha. Neka maid kako. Azvipere mushe. Right, I think that is amazing. And I'll be back here today. What I'll do, I'll just sit here and update you. Musati nyadzisa vakomana. Takashanda basa here. Tirikutupwa nezvigananda every day. Machinzi ma-detractors, ma-foreign-based agents, ma-what. Guys, mukatadzawo zvaita mugarageza, munozoita sei? Kana mukatadzawo padai mugarageza, mozodii? Munangagwa anotiseka womana. Munangagwa will make a fool of us. Let's not allow Munangagwa to laugh at us. Stay home and go and protest. Please, guys, I am begging you. I have to beg you. Kuti musareke Munangagwa achiwina. Don't vote for Munangagwa. If you allow Munangagwa to get away with this, you voted for Munangagwa. Vote for anyone else. CIE Munangagwa aite face the music. Let Munangagwa face the music. Let's not allow this moment to pass. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. And wakachata kupi uzada kunyeba ndiwe umwe anoda mboma. Inini andiroveke. Inini andirurawe nemunhu wekumasvingo. Munangagwa. Muroyi. Mutakati. So if you're in Bulawayo, Lobengla Street, ungadluli usiyanga. Tala ngapha. Flats, don't try to sell at the market. No customers today. Thank you very much everyone for watching. It's been amazing. I'll see you again later today. And a good day to you all. Kuno,